أخذنا أيسر. نحن في شريعتنا من يسيء.
Leader of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis, says there are limits to freedom of expression, especially when it insults or ridicules someone's faith. Pope Francis defended freedom of expression as not only a fundamental human right, but a duty to speak one's mind for the sake of the common good. However, he stressed that certain limits exist. The pontiff said people cannot make a toy out of other religions and insult the faith of others. Francis made the comments after a French weekly Charlie Hebdo reprinted cartoons mocking the Holy Prophet of Islam on. Well, the French satirical Charlie Hebdo's reprinting of the sacrilegious cartoons continue to draw condemnation from all over the world. Many have denounced the release of the new edition with its front cover cartoon of Prophet Muhammad. They say the move could itself lead to a surge in extremist beliefs in groups like the ISIL.
In the weekly's printing of sacrilegious cartoons of Prophet Muhammad, the Muslim clerics have slammed the terror attack against the magazine, but the magazine, however, remained defiant and printed another cartoon in its recent edition. Now, experts say printing such disrespectful caricatures paves the way for an increase of extremism. They all say desecrating prophets and insulting people's beliefs are absolutely condemned. Muslims around the world are angered by the recent caricature and have unanimously condemned the move. People in different areas took to the streets against the contemptuous caricatures. Muslims in the Philippines were among the people who demonstrated against the satirical weekly. They say freedom of speech does not allow anyone to insult the Prophet. The same sentiment is shared by Muslims in France who are calling for an end to the controversial caricatures.
When there is no longer respect, it's no longer freedom of expression. It's an attack. It's an attack to once again depict the Prophet when they know very well that we don't link this kind of representation.
Demonstrators in Turkey also gathered outside a newspaper headquarters that had published the cartoon. Among the official bodies and figures, the head of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Iyad Madani, has slammed the drawing, calling the move as insolence, ignorance and foolishness. Also, Lebanon's resistance movement, Hezbollah, has warned that the move will lead to more extremism and terrorism. Meanwhile, the Turkish Prime Minister, Ahmet Davutoglu, said freedom of press does not give a license to insult. A court in Turkey also banned websites showing Hebdo's front cover. The publication of the blasphemous cartoons is not the only thing that has angered Muslims. The approach taken by some leaders towards the move has infuriated them more. French President François Hollande has hailed the reprinting of the cartoons and declared that Charlie Hebdo will live on. Analysts believe the support for Charlie Hebdo is a clear example of double-standard policies regarding freedom of speech.
Unfortunately, Charlie Hebdo has failed in its satirical intention because, as we all know, satire is about targeting those in power and holding them to account. Charlie Hebdo has repeatedly targeted minority groups, the underclasses, those that are vilified and demonized within French society.
Now, many are worried of the continuation of manipulating the concept of freedom of speech and therefore disrespecting people's beliefs in that name. Arming and training terrorist groups like the ISIL and Al-Qaeda by some world leaders is another concern.